In this video, we are going to be analysing AB. If you want your own stock analysed, throw it in the comments and we'll get to it when we can. But to get straight into it, firstly, this isn't been actually a massive move on the day. It's only up about 1% as we're recording this video, but there is a lot of people talking about this running, where this is going. So what we can do is go through our standard deviation channels and find what are the high probability levels where we would start to expect either a pullback or a breakout. So on the left, we have a 6-month deviation channel chart, and on the right, we have a 1 year. So the first thing we're paying attention to is, well, our closest resistance. And it's basically where we are now. So between the areas of around $35.06 to around $35.33, this is our statistical mean between the 6-month and the 1 year. So this zone instantly is one where I don't like to be in a stock. So basically where we are now is not a level I would be touching the stock at all. The reason for that is, firstly, if you're buying at these lows, then the main thing to at these basic lows is, we look for that bounce. This is our target. So really we would be locking in profits now. So this is as well, and it's a mean reversion strategy. When you're looking at deviations, you're expecting a reversion to the mean. So once you bounce off this oversold level and you push all the way back to the statistical mean, this is again where we expect price to move to. So once we come into this level, it's a gamble whether we will bounce or break through and push to the upside, or reverse and push further to the downside. And that's why I don't trade this level. It is really a lot more of a gamble. Now though, we're in this level, really again, like I said, I would wait for that reaction. If we end up breaking to the upside, I'm paying attention to $38, because this will be our first deviation on the 6-month, and 20 cents above that at 38, we have our first deviation on the 1 year. And what I like on this stock are the deviations are very close together, which means that they're going to be a lot easier levels to trade. So we can see if we end up breaking to the upside, again, this is going to be our target. And really this is where I can start seeing some opportunities over on AB. If we can come into this level, then what I'm looking for the first time we hit this, looking to play that pullback at a minimum. Usually you get a pullback, sometimes you get the overall reversal. So if I'm playing the pullback, once we're up maybe half a point, we're moving our stop to break even, we're locking in profit. So even if it does end up breaking higher, we can get out that trade with a bit of profit, or at least break even. And if it is an overall reversal, then there really are home run trades, and we'll be looking for a target of $35. On the other hand, though, if we do end up testing this, again, we'll most likely get that small pullback. We end up breaking through. Then if you want to play the trend, the main thing I'd be paying attention to is once we break through, you want to come back, test it as a support. If this holds, then we can look to play direction to that next deviation level, which in this case is going to be around $41. So it's going to be $41.03 to around $41.71, which would take us to our second deviations between the 6-month and the 1 year chart. That would be the key levels, and if we went higher, we do have more levels at 45, 44, 46.80, and a final level at 48.35. So again, there is a lot of levels now on this chart. Do you need to pay attention to all of them? Of course not. If you're paying attention to the resistances, obviously just be paying attention to basically the pattern. We test it, pull back, then if we retest, most likely going to break through, and then look to play the trend. But really all I ever do is pay attention to where we're currently sitting and the closest levels. So right now we're sitting at this 35, so my main focus is, if I was trading it, have an alert out ready to be notified when it comes into $38. Or if I prefer to play down to I can just be patient. Again, it doesn't matter what way I trade. The way I trade is I don't really have a bias on the stock. It's just whatever kind of direction it goes is the direction I'll trade. The only time I have a bias is when you look at the overall long-term trend, and we can see on AB, it's quite flat. So to me, I don't really care what direction I take. However, when you're looking at the small caps, you've got the GameStop, the GMEs, the Fubos, they're all really strong downtrending lines. Whenever you see that strong downtrend, then obviously the only way I'm looking to play those is to the downside, because I don't want to be playing against the overall longer term trend. So the support, again, we do have that 32.45. If we went lower, we have the 31.75. Can use that as a zone if we want. And again, if we broke lower once more, we have the 29.65 to around 28.40 as further supports. Again, don't pick a bias on the stock. Whatever direction it goes, that's where the opportunity will be. So for right now, and we can actually zoom out to this chart to make it maybe that bit clearer. So what we can do is right now, again, we're sitting at statistical mean. This is statistical mean. Right now, there is no opportunity. The way I'm looking at this stock is if we firstly break to the upside, then again, I'm waiting for a break above this level, come back to most likely test it as a support. But again, that doesn't really matter because it's the mean. And then we push to the upside. And then the first time we come into this $38 level, just looking to play that pullback. And again, move our stop to break even, look in some profits. And if it does do an overall reversal, then obviously looking to get out the trade completely back at that $35 level. On the other hand, if we end up breaking to the downside, again, we're going to most likely test this level, end up breaking to that downside, and we can actually draw it a bit closer here. So we'll retest this level like we are now. If we end up bouncing to the downside, really not paying attention until we hit down to around 32.50, the first time we enter this range, looking for that bounce. And again, locking in profits, moving stops to break even, and then have our final target where we get out of the trade completely, again at that $35 level. However, if we get that small bounce and then we start to continue lower, then obviously you can potentially catch the trend short as well by just waiting for a break through this level, come back to test this zone again as a resistance. And if that holds, looking to play to that next deviation, which in this case would be around 29.70. So I hope you enjoyed the breakdown on AB. If you did, why not drop a like and subscribe? And again, like we said, if you want a stock analyzed, throw it in the comments, we'll get round to it. And if you enjoyed the video, why not check out this video here.